The reason that we decided to get into the excavating side of it and handle that in-house, we have all our own heavy equipment. We are capable of handling multiple jobs at one time due to the amount of excavators and dozers that we have in-house. And the reason we do it is because a lot of the soils around here, we have very high clay content. The clay is very expansive. So one of the ways, there's a few different ways of treating that soil, and being as the buildings are as large as they are, keeping them up off the soil is not practical and it'd be cost prohibitive.
One of the methods of building in North Texas, where we have such expansive soils, is we do our borings and our tests and write up a report. And so in that report we say there's expansive clay here, so we use what's called moisture conditioning, and that's usually somewhere between 6, 7 to 10 feet of excavation.
What they did is they dug a hole almost 10 feet deep, the entire size of the building, moved all the dirt out, and then relayered the dirt in with crushed rock, lime, soil. Then they compacted it, then they scarified it, then they wet it, and then they put the next layer in.
Replacing that soil back in the excavation in controlled lifts to a specified moisture density. And Tony has been very committed to do, if we say you need to excavate to a certain depth, Tony's been committed to do exactly what we say. And we've worked with his excavation people, and they just do an excellent job. It's like, I categorize contractors as in, if you weren't there, would they do what's supposed to be done? And Tony's people, I trust them, and they do an excellent job.
When you remove the soil and then you scarify the bottom and you start adding water and mix and compact, and the dirt that you took out of that hole, out of the footing for the building, you go down approximately about 8 feet is typical, and then scarify another foot below it. And when you do that and you put it back in, the same dirt you took out, you put it back in 8-inch lifts, and you add water to it, and we're talking a lot of water. This is, you got water trucks just pumping the water into it, and you rip it and mix it up and compact it, and you bring it up to about a 95% compaction. And you keep doing that till you get, and of course you have the testing lab on site, and they're testing that you have the right amount of moisture added to it and that you have the right amount of compaction. And you work your way all the way back till you put the soil, get it all back in the footing, and you'll typically find out that you're going to be a foot, foot and a half taller than where you began. This is due to that you've swelled that soil to the maximum. Back to why we have our own equipment. You're pouring your foundation and building your foundation is the most critical part of the building. If it's not correct, nothing else is ever going to be right.
It took them probably 3-4 weeks just to do the hole, but there's not a crack in any of the foundation anywhere in the building. It's amazing.